Um, I don't know when this happened, but apparently, according to conservatives, all of the women in the Olympics are trans? Or sorry, all the ones who win are trans now. I don't understand why. It cannot. I saw a tweet that summarized it very well, in my opinion, or like summarized the sentiment that I felt very well. Put my here. Where I was getting this achy feeling from like just the sheer number of um women that were getting accused of being trans. And I was like, dude, is it really have we have we regressed so much that women winning can't happen? This is like incredible. This is so crazy. I, w- Dudes out there taking blood tests to check their chromosomes. I mean, yeah, I guess. I've been just very weirded out by all of it. I'm gonna be honest. I, uh, so we'll get into it. The TLDR, one of the well, probably the biggest instance right now is that a female boxer took one punch and gave up, which means that her opponent is trans. I don't. Uh, um. Yeah, I don't really understand either. I'm not sure. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I've seen some pretty crazy takes on it. Feels oddly similar to phrenology, attempting to classify and degrade others based on random traits. Yeah, yeah. But we'll get into the particulars, okay? Like, we'll get into the particulars. More importantly, oh yeah, we've known this for a while, 8 9. That actually trans athletes are at a disadvantage, and that hormones uh have adverse effects on your body. That HRT has adverse effects on your body that actually makes it um makes winning harder. But moving on, we'll get into it. The second thing is, okay, so the sexism, the trans misogyny wasn't enough. So they were like, wait, guys, we forgot to be racist. Quick, pick a group of people to be racist towards. And there have been multiple instances of a lack of sportsmanship towards Chinese players who've been killing it, by the way, and getting all of the gold medals. Yeah, I just work here, man. I don't know. I just work here, bro. So we'll get into all of that. There was a new Noah Samson video as well on the phrenology of white male YouTubers that I thought might be a fun watch, but we'll see. So yeah, that's I think what we're gonna cover today. I think that's what I'm excited to cover today. First and foremost, let's get into this whole situation with the trans athletes, shall we? Okay, let's put that there. All right. And one of these here. And I want to start in the right place. I want to start with the here we go. This is a good place to start. This is a great place to start. So, end wokeness, J.K. Rowling, libs of TikTok, Riley Gaines, Logan Paul, and a few other people jumped into the mix to comment on the female boxing match between Algeria and Italy. And here we have a video showing the woman that was sent from Algeria wins the fight against this Italian. Italians stay losing, it would appear. Someone I know posted transphobic shit. I corrected them with the AP, and he was like, "Nah, I don't believe that." Please, just, I have so much. There's so much to say on people just denying reality. It's amazing. So, yeah. Aw, spookily whack, thank you. Yeah, that's it. That's the ref lifting up the winner's arm. Classic boxing. The really sad thing is that, let me see if I can find it. All right. Here's the fight between them. This is the full fight, just so you guys understand. It's 2 minutes long.
Marini operating from the southpaw stance. Just falling a little bit short there. Good right hook from Carini. Khalif looking to come with straight punches to the body of Carini. Nice little lead up from Khalif.
Okay, and then we get our little timeout.
Tightened in.
Here's the Italian over here in the blue.
Solid straight right hand from.
Okay. And then that's it. She got hit once. Here you go. Just so you guys can see. Let's put it in nice slow-mo here for all of you guys. Playback speed. Let's go 0.5. Okay, and goes in for what appears to be a punch, is way off, and then fails to respond and react to accurately dodge or duck or block, and then got hit once. Just let's watch it again. That was it. That was the punch. Okay. Didn't even block. Nothing. Okay.
Straight right hand from Khalif there. About being pulled off.
That was it. She got hit once and gave up. That was what happened. She literally got hit once. She's literally fine, dude. She's literally fine. And then she said, I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Sure. I guess. Gets hit once, fucking quits. Okay. And it's been really funny watching transphobes be on the internet talking about this. Today, Angela Karina had her Olympics dream shattered by Iman Khalif, a male boxer, which, just so everyone's on the same page, there is no information to suggest that the other fighter was male. We'll get into that in a second. It is suspected that he broke her nose. Do these people know what boxing is? That happens. But boxing is quite literally the sport where you try and punch the other person. And now, my understanding of boxing isn't perfect, but out of all the things that could happen to you in a fight, having your nose broken is one of the less scary, less dangerous things to happen to you. It's way scarier for you to accidentally, or for you to have your ribs broken, because that takes a very long time to heal, or God forbid, get a concussion, or have teeth fly out, or suffer permanent brain damage. Getting your eye socket fractured is scarier. Getting your nose broken is a very low bar here. It's one of the less scary things that happens in a boxing fight. And even here, the reporting on this, Khalif landed one right hand and then was close to landing a flurry of punches. And shortly after, 35 seconds into the bout, she raised her hand and had her headgear checked. A slightly subdued look on her face as she chatted briefly to the coach. She returned to the fight, was immediately caught by a right hand by... What are you talking about? Flurry of punches. What about... Guys, this was the fight. We'll watch it again at 1x just so you guys can see. Look at this. Oh my God. I genuinely can't believe I don't understand how this is like, everyone is fine with going along with this. So here, let's watch the video. I want to show you something. I don't know if you can hear. He's my father. I did the last kilometer because one day I felt tired. Before Tokyo, I felt tired. I said, Dad, I'm tired. The training is intense, but I won't give up. Gives up. He said to me, Angelina, a champion is a bit like in cycling. The champion, when they see the last kilometer, you know what they do? They pedal even harder. So you reach that last kilometer, you pedal and go all the way because I'll always be with you. And so I did. Until the end, I fought with blood in my eyes because I wanted this victory at all costs just for my father. You gave up literally immediately. What are you talking about? Also, it's a lot funnier when you find out that she's a cop from a family of cops. Do you think that it wasn't televised and we can't see your fight? Anyways, moving on. Because of this, a bunch of people have started suggesting that the fighter that she was up against is trans and or intersex, depending on the person that you run into. Where do you think they are getting this idea from? Well, it would appear, let me see if I can pull it up here. There was I think it's this one. Not this one. Here we go. Alienated Quebec. Oh, thank you for the 20 months. Thank you. No, not this. Where is it? No. Trying to find the original document that people have been spreading around to prove why they're allowed to be transphobic. Hold up. No. 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 Where is it? Ah, here we go. Here's a good article on the topic. Olympic boxer who faced gender eligibility claim wins, igniting outcry after Algeria's Iman Khalif beats Italy's Angela Carini in an opening bout. Social media erupts with criticism, citing disqualifications from last year's World Championship. And an outcry erupted at the Paris Olympics around the world. Presence of two female boxers who were, just so you guys know, both disqualified by the International Boxing Association at last year's World Champions in New Delhi for what the organization at the time said was a failure to meet eligibility rules. IBA President Umar Kremlev told the Russian news agency TASS last year that the disqualifications were because it was proven that they have XY chromosomes, which, by the way, the IBA, the International Boxing Association, is defunct and corrupt as hell, just so that we're all on the same page. We'll get to this in a second, Solo. There was a good piece on this. And this is currently the only source on this fighter having XY chromosomes and nothing else. Here we go. This is now a decertified organization that's known for its corruption, just so that we're all on the same page. Just so we're all on the same page. The IBA doesn't even have established guidelines on how they made their determination that she was ineligible, which is why the Olympics don't consider them a legitimate boxing federation. Correct. They also don't specify what particular gender tests were done. Your heart rate rose above 120 BPM while you seemed to be inactive for 10 minutes starting at 8:44 a.m. Okay, dude. Yes, I'm very passionate. Okay, thank you, Apple Watch, for letting me know. Hey, bitch. Yeah, what? Chill. Calm the fuck down. Okay. All right. Calm. Relax. All right. Sorry. Let me see if I can find the images. No. Ah, here we go. This is a good post. So this was the original statement, just so you guys know. This was the IBA statement on Iman. Statement made by the IBA regarding athletes' disqualification in World Boxing Championship 2023. As stated, the International Boxing Association feels it appropriate at this prevalent time to address recent media statements regarding those Olympic athletes, Lin Yuting and Iman Khalif, particularly regarding their participation in the Paris Olympic Games. We wish to make the following points in these regards. On March 24th, 2023, the IBA disqualified these athletes. Let's see. This disqualification was a result of their failure to meet the eligibility criteria for participating in the women's competition as set and laid out by the IBA regulations. This decision, made after meticulous review, was extremely important and necessary to uphold the fairness and utmost integrity of the competition. Point to note, the athletes did not undergo a testosterone examination, but were subject to a separate and recognized, they don't say how it is recognized, test whereby the specifics remain confidential. So just so that we're all on the same page, the results of the test are confidential and we do not know what results they came to. So we do not know how exactly either of these women failed their sex test or gender test or whatever. We don't even know because it's all confidential. This test conclusively indicated that both athletes did not meet the required necessary eligibility criteria and were found to have competitive advantages over other female competitors. This decision made by IBA on March 24th was subsequently ratified by the IBA Board of Directors on March 25th. The disqualification was based on 2 tests conducted on both athletes. And yeah, that is the current stance here. They don't say what the test was. They say it wasn't a testosterone measurement. They also say that the results are confidential. So we have no way of knowing what the results of the test were. We just know that it was the case that that's what happened. Unfortunately, for the IBA, the Olympics had some choice statements to make. The International Olympic Committee said every person has the right to practice sport without discrimination. All of the athletes participating in the boxing tournament of the Olympic Games Paris 2024 comply with the competition's eligibility and entry regulations, as well as all applicable medical regulations set by the Paris 2024 boxing unit. As with previous Olympic boxing competitions, the gender and age of the athletes are based on their passport. These rules also applied during the qualification period, including the boxing tournaments of the 2023 European Games, Asian Games, Pan American Games, Pacific Games, and the ad hoc 2023 African qualifying tournament in Dakar. And the two basically saying, yeah, we don't go based on what the IBA says because the IBA is a not trustworthy, decertified organization that's known for its corruption. So we don't have their testing. We use our own testing and our own opinions on who is and who is not qualified. We can see here, we have seen reports misleading information about 2 female athletes competing in the Olympic Games. Paris 2024, the 2 athletes have been competing in international boxing competition for many years in the women's category, including the Olympic Games 2020 in Tokyo, International Boxing Association World Championships, and IBA sanctioned tournaments. These 2 athletes were the victims of a sudden and arbitrary decision by the IBA. They were suddenly disqualified without any due process. According to the IBA minutes available on their website, this decision was initially taken solely by the IBA Secretary General and CEO. The IBA board only ratified it afterwards and only subsequently requested that a procedure to follow in similar cases in the future be established. So literally, 2 random guys in the IBA said, this bitch can't win. Okay. And then the board later ratified it. And neither of these women had due process in this judgment against them. The minutes also says that the IBA should establish a clear procedure on gender testing. The current aggression against these 2 athletes is based entirely on this arbitrary decision, which was taken without proper procedure, especially considering that these athletes have been competing in top-level competition for many years. Eligibility rules should not be changed during ongoing competition, and any rule change must follow the appropriate processes and should be based on scientific evidence. The IOC is committed to protecting the human rights of all athletes participating in the Olympic Games as per the Olympic Charter, the IOC Code of Ethics, and the IOC Strategic Framework on Human Rights. The IOC is saddened by the abuse that these 2 athletes are currently receiving. The IBA's recognition was withdrawn by the IOC in 2023 following its suspension in 2019. Also, study time. Hi. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome. We're going over these stuff with the Olympics. So, again, the IBA's suspension in 2019 and the International Olympic Committee basically said, we don't recognize you guys as an official organization for determining who is and who is not allowed to participate. The withdrawal of recognition was confirmed by the Court of Arbitration for Sports, CAS. See the IOC statement following the ruling. So some organization that nobody else agrees with, that is known to be corrupt, says that this woman, Iman Khalif, oops. Let me see if I can pull up a good photo here. Yes. Says that this woman who won against Italy's Carini failed her gender test, but they don't specify why, and they don't explain why. And the organization hasn't been taken seriously for at least a year. Okay. Got it. All right. Okay. Sure. In addition, every single person who's been pushing out the narrative of XY chromosomes that this fighter allegedly has is now issuing retractions. I'm just going to say, on a personal level, I hope she sues the fuck out of all of these people. Logan Paul tweeted out and then deleted saying, how could we have an XY chromosome man fighting women? And then tweets out, oopsies. I might be guilty of spreading misinfo along with the entirety of this app, although she's been previously disqualified for failing a gender test and having XY chromosomes, which, by the way, again, nowhere in the test does it say that she has XY chromosomes. That is someone that is entirely separate who's been saying that. Some sources say that she was born a biological woman. I stand by my sentiment that biological men should not compete against biological women in any sport, and if you disagree, you're a sick fuck. Wow, incredible statement. Wow, wonderful. And it's just really great. Really, really great. Really great. I love this image from who knows where. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Wonderful. All right. Interesting. Interesting. And then other people have brought up I think important points. First of all, this fighter, Iman, has been fighting for years. And guess what? Her record isn't great. She loses a lot of her fights, okay? All right, just so we're all on the same page. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Where is it? I'm trying to find the exact source that shows that she's lost, I think, like, in her career. Here we go. Yes, this one. Having a lot of people texting me over Iman. Personally, I don't think she's done anything to cheat. I think it's the way that she was born, and that's out of her control. The fact that she has been beaten by 9 females before says it all. Oh, this is Angela Carini. One second. Here is. Yeah. She's been beaten against 9 other female boxers. I thought trans people were supposed to be dominating in their field. I thought trans women were supposed to be dominating. And the thing is, on her own page, it says that her sex is female. It literally says this. And then other people have brought up a very good point, which is, guys, she's from Algeria. Do you really believe that Algeria, the very Arabic, very Islamic, very conservative Republic of Algeria, sent a trans woman to represent them? a country where being trans or gay is illegal. You're telling me that they allowed her to transition and then had her participate? Algeria is now woke. Is that right? Also, very important is that in her KO rate is like 13%, which is perfectly in line with the average for female boxers in her weight class and skill level. Oh, yes, this is another important thing. You can see her KO is 13.51%. Let's compare it to her opponent, Angela. Okay, 4.76%. So low key, like, Karini just kind of sucks dick. She's just not great at what she does. I'm going to be honest. She's not. She's just kind of eating shit. I won't lie. Sorry. It's okay. I'm a loser too, okay? I skill issue as well, all right? Don't worry. It's okay. I'm trying to see. I don't know enough about all of the female boxers because I don't really follow sports. But yeah, this is not some disproportionately high rate of KOs. It's really not. I'm trying to see if maybe there are some other...
When I was signing up for the Olympics, on the form where it said sex, I just put down yes, please. I'm really looking forward to the event D&M balls.
Here's someone else. 8.33% KOs. Let's see. Oh, please log in. What? Bro. No, I don't want to log into your website, darn it. All right, we can close some of this stuff. Okay. Unfortunately, it's probably from when she competed as a man. You know she never competed as a man, right? Right? You know that, like, there are photos of her as a little girl. And she was always registered as female. She's never been a man to compete as one. And it's like, it doesn't even require that much effort, by the way, to just like look this up. You can very easily find photos of her as a little girl. It's not that hard to find it. It's literally not that hard to find it. I don't know what to tell you guys here. I'm not, yeah. Yeah, well, I bet she beat up children when she was a little girl. Oh, fuck, you're right. Sorry, right. Yeah, sorry, my bad. My bad. Oh my God. Yeah, so this is a pretty good summary. She was born a woman from Algeria where being gay or transgender is a crime. She was cleared to fight at the Olympics by the International Olympic Committee. The amount of hate and transphobia she's facing is vile, baseless, and harmful to her life. She is a woman. Here's another instance of a person wrongfully calling her male. And here's the thing, man. I get it. You want to be a bigot, okay? But can you please be the correct bigot? Like, can't you go back to hating brown people in brown countries and their treatment of women? Like, it's on a silver platter for you. You're the one who claims that gays and queers and women aren't treated well. In Middle Eastern and Arab and Muslim countries. And we're telling you, okay, yeah, it's illegal to be gay or trans in these countries. Therefore, this is not a trans woman. Therefore, Algeria did not send a trans woman to the Olympics. No, they had to have done it. What? Wait, you have to pick one. I don't, you have to pick one. They need to make their own categories for competition. I don't care about their pronouns, but make the trans woman go against another trans woman. But she's not trans. Her sex is female. What are you talking about? What part are you not understanding? She was born female. Her birth certificate says female, and she's female. What's confusing here? What are you struggling with here? Algerian women just built different. I'm just saying in general for future competitions. Oh, of course. You're just bringing up a totally unrelated thing for no reason. How silly of me. Of course. Okay. You know, I think you shouldn't be allowed legally to eat ice cream. No, this has nothing to do with this conversation. I just wanted to tell you that I think you're beneath the rest of humanity and you shouldn't be allowed to have ice cream. Yeah. Obviously. For future arguments. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's insane to me. It's insane to me. I'm not gonna lie. The amount of transphobia I've witnessed over the last 2 days has been unreal. It makes me feel like I should take a break from social media. I don't think it's a bad idea to be quite honest. I will say this.
Just got here, but want to say that if a woman is better than me, a man, at anything, then we swap genders. When my GF beats me at Mario Kart, I become the woman and she becomes the man.
This is real, actually. So, this Twitter account, EIF Soccer, tweeted out saying, so let's get this straight. Iman is a biological female who has elevated levels of testosterone. She has, checks notes, lost multiple times in her career to other biological females, but suddenly, because she beat the shit out of Karini, which, by the way, she didn't even beat the shit out of Karini. She just punched her once. Who couldn't even protect her face, move her head effectively, or try and take away the reach advantage by coming inside. Everyone is outraged, spreading misinformation that she's a man now. This right here is a man. Legit grown-ass man. Are you just a bit insecure because she has bigger arms than you do? Oh my God, they kind of ate. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they kind of ate. They actually did eat, though. Like, actually. Again, she's been female her whole life. All we know is that she failed the test from a decertified org that the IOC does not consider a worthwhile organization for boxing and boxing criteria. Also, future corruption, or sorry, whatever. IOC statement on CAS decision regarding withdrawal of recognition of IBA. Yeah. They've since pulled their recognition of the IBA like a year ago. you know, because of corruption. Following the IBA's suspension and the subsequent withdrawal of its recognition, the Tokyo 2020 and Paris 2024 boxing tournaments, including the qualification process, were being organized by boxing units set up by the IOC. It's been done to protect the sport of boxing and the athletes. So, yeah. Yeah. I will say, shout out to the Italians, okay, really quickly. Just shout out to the Italians real quick. Italian boxer Angela Carini, who abandoned her Olympic bout against Algeria's Iman Khalif inside 46 seconds, says she wants to apologize to her opponent for how she handled the moments after the fight. One of two athletes that have been cleared to compete in women's boxing in Paris, despite having been disqualified from last year's Women's World Championship for failing to meet eligibility criteria. Sorry, did I say Al Jazeera? sorry. Algeria, sorry. I always get tongue-tied on that one, my bad. All this controversy makes me really sad, Carini told Italian newspaper. I'm sorry for my opponent too. If the IOC said she can fight, I respect that decision. Carini, also 25, said abandoning the fight had been a mature step to take, but she expressed regret at not shaking hands afterward. It wasn't something I intended to do. Actually, I want to apologize to her and everyone else. I was angry because my Olympics had gone up in smoke. She added that if she met Khalif again, she would embrace her. After taking a punch to the face inside 30 seconds during her fight, she went to the corner for her coach to fix her headgear. After briefly resuming, she returned to corner once more to stop the fight. It could have been the match of a lifetime, but I had to preserve my life as well in that moment. Russia-led International Boxing Association, which carried out the test last year, said Khalif failed to meet the eligibility criteria for participating. Khalif always competed in the women's division and is recognized by the IOC as a female athlete. The Algerian boxer was born female, registered female, lived her life as a female, boxed as a female, and has a female passport. IOC spokesperson Mark Adams said on Friday, there are no trans people in this match. There have never been any trans people in this match. They are females. Okay. That's it. What part of this is hard to understand? You know, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. It's just crazy. And so a couple people have started now going in a different direction, saying, well, it's not fair that she has a competitive biological advantage. And I don't know how to tell you this, man, but like, that's what sports are. I can guarantee you almost every single person in the Olympics is training their ass off day in and day out. Some people have biological advantages. Are we also removing Michael Phelps? Are we taking away all of his medals because he had a lot of biological advantages by being double jointed, having half the production of lactic acid than any other fighters or a normal human being, having an insanely large wingspan? Those are biological advantages. Surely we should remove him, right? Right? Obviously. Here's the thing, man. If someone was born female, is a female, has boxed as a female, has a female passport, is female, call me crazy, but I think females should be allowed to participate in women's boxing. Sorry if I said fighter, I meant swimmer. But she does have XY chromosomes. No, she doesn't. You know, the one source of information says that none of that information, all of that information is confidential, and it's just some random guy that's been saying that she has XY chromosomes. Oh, hell yeah, Moochie. What's Algeria's reaction to all of this? Also, look up Bayuna on Google Images and tell me that's also a man. She's the most iconic celeb here in Algeria. It's very common for people from the Sahara to look like that. It's blatant racism. So exhausting. She literally just looks like a typical Algerian woman. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This. Oh my God. This woman looks exactly like one of my sisters. Who is cis? Who is a biological woman, who is female, whose birth certificate says female, who has always been female, and is still currently female. She looks exactly like this woman. This is just what some brown women look like that are from the Sahara. That I don't. She just looks like a normal Arab woman. Like, I don't know what to tell you that. I don't. That's just what they look like. Anyways, again, must just specify her birth certificate and her passport have say female on them, and she's been female her whole life. Okay. There's no, it's pretty cut and dry. There isn't really anything else to say on this. But I must say, I've been really enjoying, I guess, transphobes really showing their ass. Oh man. Oh, very nice. Iman's next fighter is being transphobic on the internet. Excellent. Hi, IOC Media Olympics. Hungarian boxer posted numerous hateful messages on her Instagram about her upcoming opponent, Iman. This is contrary to the athlete's declaration of rights and responsibilities for athletes within the Olympic movement. And I'm thinking of the gift sub. Ah. Ah. Denims, how do you know that she didn't transition in the womb? Oh, fuck, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. Fuck, you're right. Sorry. Shit. This has just been the worst, most saddest development, I think, that I've had to see, that I've had to witness with my own two eyes. And I'm sure she'll say I was just trolling or something. It's the End Wokeness post talking about, or spreading misinfo about Iman being trans when she's not trans, she's cis, and saying, we may have to vote Trump to prevent more stuff like this from happening. I hate to say it. You know, Trump doesn't determine who fights in the Olympics, right? You know that, right? Uh, this is really sad. This is really sad and pathetic, man. I don't I have no words for this stuff. I really have no words. Yeah, and for anyone who's like, who is this? This is Sorry. This is Twitter user Michaela, who also, for some reason, decided to oust Tyler 1 as being transphobic hours before he had big news coming up. I feel bad for Tyler. And then she says, he doesn't like you people either. So both of you are transphobic and believe everything you see on Twitter without doing a little bit of research. What a shame. You're 18. You have your whole life ahead of you, and you're going to fuck it up by being chronically online and giving into something that isn't actually a norm. It is rare. I hope you get healthy. Talk to an actual doctor off this website and find peace. Good luck. Say it with your chest. Why did you delete this tweet? You're crashing out over a woman who isn't even trans, but great timing to let us know you're both transphobic. Right after Tyler 1 was announced as an LCS co-streamer, very smart and talented individual. Dude, I would be so mad as Tyler 1. I'd be like, bitch, you can't just shut the fuck up for 2 seconds? You know you don't have to tweet every single thought that comes to your brain, right? Right? And I just, oh man, oh man. Christ. Oof. 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 Divorce incoming? Well, they're not married. Which I have to say is very mean, but I did see people clowning on her for that, which was crazy. They were like, damn, he didn't even marry you and you guys have a kid. I know that stings for you. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't even subscribe to traditional norms, but like, damn, I know that shit stings to read. Oh no. Eee. Oh, fuck, dude. Shit. But I mean, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, I guess. And then even worse has been people finding, like, for anyone who doesn't know, Michaela had a chin reduction surgery because she was self-conscious about her chin, making her look not feminine. And people have been, I have to say, posting very mean tweets, transvestigating her old photos. Can someone check the genetics? Which I have to say is crazy. That's crazy. But hey, man, if you dedicate your account to just being mad about stuff that isn't happening, I guess people will do the same thing to you. If you're going to go around saying, we need to get these trans athletes to stop fighting female athletes, but there's not a single trans athlete in sight, and the person you're accusing of being trans isn't trans, and they're literally from a country where being trans is illegal, yeah, you kind of open yourself up to getting transvestigated. I won't lie. That Yeah. Yeah. Now, on a sidebar, just totally not focusing on athletes. I kind of wanted to know what conservatives thought about what they consider to be a woman or a man. And again, this has nothing to do with sports. This is a bit of a sidebar because, as many people have brought up, there are instances where people are considered intersex who do not fit cleanly into the binary of female or male, right? That they have some categories, that they fit some categories that we would normally associate with men, and that they fit some categories that we would normally associate with women. And so I posed a hypothetical online because I was genuinely curious and I can't help myself. And so I asked, genuine question to conservative, if someone has female sex organs and can get pregnant, but they have XY chromosomes, what pronouns would you use when talking about them? And people really, like a lot of conservatives really did not know what to do about this. Okay, people really did not know what to say or do about this. Uh So one example would be this guy who says, genuine answer, a person who obviously has a male physique and XY chromosomes cannot get pregnant. In fact, no female presenting male has ever been documented as getting pregnant, not even artificially. So we would call them imaginary. So I tell them, well, actually, I'm referencing this here. And actually, there are instances where you can get pregnant. One second. So these people finally find out about Swyer syndrome. And they're like, first, when I looked up Swyer syndrome, there is 0 confirmed cases of pregnancy with it. Second, from what I found, people with Swyer syndrome present as feminine. This guy's not feminine. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, here you go. And here's one of many pieces of information and documentation showing that actually there are women with XY chromosomes, or let's not even call them women for the purpose of this conversation. There are people with female sex organs with XY chromosomes. And here's a study on the mode of delivery of women with Swyer syndrome in German case series. And it talks about a total of 7 women with Swyer syndrome, and a total of 10 pregnancies were identified, who later gave birth to 12 live-born children. 7 out of the 10 births were performed by elective and non-elective C-sections. 3 births took place vaginally. And then he refused to respond to this tweet for ages. Multiple people started also then sending the message to be like, hey, why not reply to this? Why not reply to this? And then after a full day, finally decided, okay, I'll respond to it. And then someone else says, so a man can carry a pregnancy to term then? 0 cases. They literally carried the babies to term. So there's been that, which is people reading the study and then saying, I disagree. Which is an interesting defense, I suppose. I guess. Personally, not one that I would take, but okay. I also had some people saying that they just don't believe the National Library of Medicine. I've had the same conversation here. They can't get pregnant, you absolute brain dead fuck. They can, and they actually have. That's wrong. Look up examples and post one. I'll give you until the end of eternity. Even on a woke lying website, you will never find one. Go ahead. To which I post one. And then he says this, bots got caught. You are pathetic. I hope you make good money. You worthless fuck. Which I responded saying, I don't understand what this means genuinely, because I didn't understand what it means. You are posting lies. You think they are real. It's pathetic. And then I said, so you don't trust the National Library of Medicine as a source for information. This is not a valid source in your book. Can I know what is a source you respect? And then they didn't respond. So that was a response, I suppose, I guess. Just ignore the facts, I guess, because they're inconvenient for you. Liberal facts, obviously, they can't be real, and they're woke. And this peer-reviewed study on the National Library of Medicine, it doesn't really get better than this on sources, is lying? Okay, I guess. Sure, man. Whatever you say, dude. It's your world. We're just living in it, I guess. I guess that's wokeism as well. I guess science is woke now. And then I had one more interesting conversation. And, you know, for me personally, Twitter is like a human zoo, and I like to metaphorically tap the glass sometimes. I know it's bad behavior, but every once in a while, after it's been enough time, I like to tap the glass. And I get another conservative to respond that says that they're not a conservative. So, sure, whatever you say, man. I'm not a conservative. Personally, I would say in that situation, it would be a man with a sexual organ deformity or failure of the sex glands developing. Considering it's XY, the body should be producing higher bone density, muscle mass, and other things. To which I say, okay, so if you had an extremely pregnant coworker who presented as a woman with this condition, you would still perceive them to be a woman? Or sorry, to perceive them to be a man? To which he says, yes, if they had XY chromosomes, which is much more than testosterone, the difference between a man's genitals and a woman's genitals, it's much simpler than you would think. A man is simply more developed in that area. All fetal genitalia are the same and phenotypically female. Okay. Interesting, because I feel like if I had a coworker that was like 9 months pregnant, I would no longer consider that person a man unless that's how they wanted to be referred to as. If they presented as a woman and were very pregnant, I'd be like, I mean, yeah, that seems like a woman to me. Okay. But sure, whatever you say. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to win on this side. So let's totally separate question. Follow-up question. What about males who have fully functioning male sex organs, but no presence of the Y chromosomes? Obviously, you go up to pregnant people and ask, what genitals do you have? I need to know. But anyways, what would that be? And then he says, I'd be surprised if that was even possible. External factors would have to be at play. A dysfunction is different from somehow gaining a function, which then I bring up the very interesting fact that the Y chromosome is actually disappearing. Now, I'm not a scientist, but my understanding is that when your genes are rearranging and whatever, your X's don't struggle nearly as much as your Y chromosome or like a Y chromosome because it has a harder time sort of like metaphorically pairing with the X's because it only has one side. I mean, a Y would be half of an X and then a line. It has a harder time since half of it can't, it's smaller basically. So I say this and I say, interestingly, the spiny rat has completely lost the Y chromosome. And for some reason, scientists don't fully understand. Healthy male rats are still born. Here's some information if you'd like to learn more. And a link explaining what scientists think is happening and why it's happening and the scientists that are studying this. To which he says, I need you guys to buckle in because this is pretty incredible. Okay, this is like, out of all the things I've ever heard in my life, this is amazing. As far as I know, humans and their cells are not capable of being sexually flexible. Not true. It's much easier when you're a smaller organism. As I said, the difference between genitals is small. There is no scientist that thinks that smaller organisms have an easier time turning male or female than larger organisms. That has the size of the organism has nothing to do with the sex. Absolutely nothing. It's quite literally nothing. To which I say, scientists don't seem to think that fluidity is at all related to the size of the animal. In the link that I posted, they say that basically we think that there is this male, the XO9 enhancer, the XO9 activity that causes men to develop, is being produced in a different way. To which I then say, well, are you sure you know how Y chromosomes exactly make men? And do you know that the Y chromosome is disappearing? To which he says, I'm sure rats have different genetic makeup. I'm not surprised by this.
A woman is the underappreciated foundation of civilization that enables failures like Matt Walsh's father to survive to a reproductive age.
But human beings also... This is the same mechanism that works in human beings. This is the same one. The chromosomes work exactly the way in mammals, like humans and rats, actually. Can I ask you to explain exactly how the Y chromosome creates a male? Interestingly, sorry, they say they work the same way, but they're not the same. Sure, the Y chromosome supports the development of testes, influences male secondary sexual characteristics, and suppresses female pathways, among other things. I'm getting tired of the exponential reaching. To which I say, it's not exponential reaching if the Y chromosome can disappear in human beings as well. And has been. We've lost a lot of genes because the Y chromosome is getting smaller. And so I say, just so that you're aware of the specifics, males are created when the chromosome triggers, quote, a genetic pathway starting with a gene called SOX9, which is the key for male determination. Basically, your Y chromosome at some point in your development, it triggers this other thing, which is the XO9 activity, and the XO9 activity is what tells the rest of your body to start producing male attributes. It's not that the Y chromosome magically makes your body male, it's that at some point in your development, it starts this chain reaction, kind of like dominoes. The Y chromosome is the person tipping the dominoes. The dominoes are the actual thing causing someone to become male. And I say that the reason we suspect males still exist in the spiny rats is because they managed to have something else trigger those metaphorical dominoes that isn't the Y chromosome. That data, that trigger, got put somewhere else, or it existed somewhere else. So the Y chromosome became unnecessary. You can lose the Y chromosome and still have males, as evidenced by these rats, because something else ends up triggering the domino effect that creates males. Which they say, I'm already aware of human beings losing the Y chromosome. That's why I said nature will have to find a new way to reproduce, which they did not say at any point. Anyway, where did they say that? Which in this case would be XO9 activity. But that's already how men are created. That's already how males are created. Males are currently already created by XO9 activity. That is not a new way to reproduce. That is currently the way that human beings are able to reproduce. We've just found the new trigger point. And then they say something even more amazing, which is great combo. Hopefully now you understand the genetic significance of the Y chromosome. I did not know that in the face of someone politely telling you and explaining to you how things work, you can say to them, "You're welcome for the lesson." I don't understand. I don't understand. Just pretend like you're right and lie about what you said. Thanks. You're welcome for teaching me. Hope this helped you. Oh my god. Anyways, I love Twitter so much. I love Twitter so much. Only on Twitter can someone be totally, completely wrong and still be like, you're welcome. I hope now you understand. It's like the Sailor Moon meme with the guy saying, my job here is done, but you didn't do anything. But you didn't do anything. But okay, sure, man, whatever you say. Also, the whole point with the rats and studying those rats is because it's interesting that males and male sex organs can still exist without the Y chromosome, which makes us think, oh, it's actually not the Y chromosome that's determining what is and is not male. It's actually that the Y chromosome is one of many triggers that can cause activity in the human body to create a male. So the Y chromosome is only important for the current person pushing the dominoes. If we have a different way to push the dominoes, we don't need the Y chromosome, as evidenced by these rats. And it's redundant to need it. But, I mean, sure, man. Whatever you say. Whatever you say, man. It's all good. It's all good. But I don't want my dominoes to be pushed. What the fuck? Oh, sorry, my bad. Sorry, my bad. I won't push. Oh, and the last thing, sorry, on my little adventure on the internet yesterday, I can't lie. I do like to do this kind of stuff. It's a little bit fun for me. But on the last topic on this, there also have been people posting in response to this information saying this. So the study that I'm linking, it shows that, by the way, there have been instances of women with XY chromosomes actually somehow, without IVF, being able to conceive. But in most of the instances, there is IVF used for women who have this condition. But this person says, if you consider pregnant to be eggs from a real female and sperm from a real male being used as a glorified incubator for a child that is not yours DNA as a glorified male incubator that did not drop the balls during development, go for it. I'm sorry. If I consider IVF taking place in a person and then that person carrying that child to term, yeah, I would consider that pregnancy. That's what pregnancy means. Are you telling me cis women who undergo IVF are not pregnant? Do you know what the word pregnant means? What about surrogates who are carrying other people's children? Are those women not pregnant? What is going on in this world? That's what pregnancy is, the aspect of carrying a child, hopefully to term. That's what that means. Where the eggs came from is not relevant for the purpose of pregnancy or for the definition of pregnancy. So, yeah, I would consider those people pregnant. Actually, I don't understand. Huh? Pregnancy is the gestation of a fetus. These people are idiots. Holy shit. I don't know. I'm so confused by this stuff, man. I'm so confused. I love the number of people being like, this isn't pregnancy because it's not these women's eggs. It's like, oh, so surrogates aren't pregnant. They're just really fat. Pregnancy is only if you come in pussy? Like what? What? What is it then? What do we call it then? What's the new word for that? Conservatives just discovered biracial people. Wait until they discover intersex people. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And Me, a conservative, explaining to the 5-year-old IVF child that they do not exist. Yeah, sorry, you're right. The last thing I was going to talk about on this topic, and then we're going to move on from this, because man, it's very funny. The entire ordeal, I think, is very, very funny.
Dennis, but did you consider, if I don't get laid, then obviously they're not a woman.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. I know, I didn't think about it that way. Yeah, I really didn't think about it that way. Oh, I think there was something else that I wanted to show you guys on this topic, but I don't remember where it is. Oh, yeah. It's a good response to the Michaela tweet, to be honest. Donald Trump saying, I will keep men out of women's sports, and saying, Brian saying, Krasenstein saying, the US president has no control over Olympic rules. This woman is not transgender. She was born a woman and has always identified as a woman since birth. Stop spreading hate towards trans people merely because you are angry about Olympic rules that allowed a woman to compete as a woman in a woman's sports. In a woman's sport. Now, here's the thing, right? If we want to talk about what we feel is the most fair, and whether or not it's fair for people who are intersex to compete, or whether or not they should undergo certain testing to be able to compete, or whatever, sure, we can have those discussions. I think all of those are just pretty moot points, but whatever, sure, we can have those discussions. Trans people have nothing to do with this conversation. There are no trans people in this fight. There's no one trans in the women's boxing Olympics. What are you talking about? What are we all talking about? If we want to talk about undue advantages or whatever, sure, whatever, we can have those conversations. But what the fuck does that even have to do with trans Olympians? There are none right now. This is not even relevant. I don't understand. It's so bizarre. Oh, I remember. This is the last point that I was going to make, which is it's very sad, but there is definitely some aspect of colorism that's occurring here. It's listing off multiple women who have been accused of being trans. Anyone noticing a common thread against the female athletes who've been falsely subjected to transphobic attacks and allegations? And yeah, Semenya is a good example. Semenya is probably the best example of this, but there are some other women that also have been subjected to this who, weird that they don't. Weird that they all have this common line of attack. I mean, do you guys remember when Michelle Obama was getting transvestigated and she wasn't doing anything? Her crime was being married to the president? I remember Serena Williams being transvestigated. Oh, but she had dark skin. Oh, duh. Sorry, you're right. My bad. Sorry, you're right. It's just, what are you guys talking about, dude? You think a woman with biceps is trans? Like, is that it? This is what you guys are, this is where we're at now? Okay, I guess. Sure. Sure, man. Sure.